Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous Community Show. Yes, and for once, we're starting early. Why the heck not? We're all here, we're having a party. Hello to everyone, Saturnine, Gaming with Ian, Mr. Junks, Fiery Toad, Leo Sagan. We've got a few new people in here I noticed tonight. Kano Magnus, Kill Chandra, Torsor, we know you. You're a regular. How is everybody doing tonight? Nice to see you all. I'm hoping the audio is better this week. I know we had a few issues with it last week. But I think it's a little bit better. I hope it's a little bit better. I'm sure you will tell me shortly anyway. So greetings to you all. Lovely to see you. It's Friday. I'm back. Thank you very much to Toad and Dog for taking over last week. For Gate crashing the party. Resri squee! Nice to see you there, Commander. Oh dear, yes. I've had an interesting week. It's been busy, very busy. But I can't talk much about it. More to come. Never tell a mod to shut up. Ban. No, that's fine. That's fine. We will start off tonight. I have a few bits and pieces to do. I'm going to head over to a conflict zone shortly. I've been doing the community goal this week, which I'm sure a few other people have been getting involved with as well in Verati. There was the mining goal and also the protect the miners bounty hunting goal, which I made a nice chunk of change on. I was in the top 10% right up until the last couple of days, but because I was so busy those last couple of days, I slipped into the top 25%. I know, slacking, just, you know, not trying hard enough for the community. Terrible. But still, made a few million bonus on that, and also got those juicy bounties in as well, which is what it's all about. So I've got a few bounties gathered up that I need to cash in tonight, so I'm going to go do that first, whilst we go over the newsletter and everything on there. So let's find the nearest Federation system. I have a nice big hefty bonus to head to cash in for that. Although I must check, I'm not sure if I've got a fuel scoop, because looking at it, yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to get here. Route unavailable. Oh, of course, I'm a moron. I completely stripped this ship down. I thought I'd have a little play around with some outfittings whilst I was doing the bounty hunting role, actually, and what I decided to do, it seems silly, but it was an interesting idea, and it seemed to work quite well, actually. I dropped the FSD on this ship right down to the lowest one, so I could basically get into Super Cruise, travel around in this system, because the goal was here for handing in the bounties, and there was a resource site here, so I could do the entire thing in one system. So I thought, drop this down, lower power usage, which meant I can go for more shield boosters and things like that. Fantastic, worked really well, but I forget that I basically can't do anything with this ship now, so I've got to re-upgrade the FSD or get in a taxi, which I think I might do, because I want to head back to the system anyway. Greetings! There's a few more people coming in. Who have we got here? Mr. Junks, Pleepe, Stuart15, good to see you there. Marjaden, Tayamaru, nice to see all the regular folks in it. Yes, we've started a little early, don't worry, you've not missed anything. I've just been waffling away. I really want to tell everyone what I've seen this week, but I am under yet another NDA. I'm gathering them slowly. I have a collection of them now. Paul Archer, greetings, Commander. XRG, thank you. Yes, that is the newsletter. We'll be going over the newsletter very shortly. There's a couple of juicy little bits of news in there this week. A couple of other bits and pieces I can tell you on the depths of the forum as well, to tie into some of those interesting things. Was that Stephen? Yes, there is A4 FSDs in the station. I did check before I sold it. Knowing my luck, the economy's changed since I sold it, though. I'll be trapped here. But I have got a little Sidewinder parked up, which has got a few light years jump range. I think this is the lowest jump range I've ever had on a ship. I think it's something like, what was it, 0.95 light years. Just about make it to Hutton and back. That's about it. XLG beat Ian this week. Yes, Ian is always on the ball. So the question is, do I jump back into... I've sold all my storage ships. Do I jump back into a taxi and leave my... Yeah, I think I'll leave the Vulture here. Just store it away. Oh, Resri. Okay. Farewell, Commander. See you in the void. Bad link in the newsletter. Anyone got the Elite Racers video? Oh, is it a bad link? It worked for me. see if I can find it for you. The Elite Racers. There's the Elite Racers. We will get onto this in a second anyway. Let's see if we can find this for you. Yep, no, that's the practice run there. Seems to be functioning. Let's go and put that in there. See if that link works for you. It works for me! We'll get onto the newsletter in just a while. Let's go back. Oops. Must confirm that. Yes, I do not want to sell my Vulture. I like my Vulture. It's a nice loadout. Saturnine, yes, that does still happen occasionally, actually. There is a possibility that you will get stuck in a system with a ship which is too low to get out of them. There are a couple of little places like that, and I know they were bumped up efficiency-wise early on, but it does still occasionally happen. Yeah, I'm not sure why that isn't working for you. Bad link. Very odd. Maybe you have some strange issues going on with your internet at that end, maybe? Some weird DNS lookup thing going on, maybe? Who knows? The internet is unreliable. We all come to rely on it these days, but it is notoriously unreliable. Sale on merch items, yes, there was a lovely sale thing which they put in, which was quite nice, was for St. Patrick's Day as well, was for the Irish flag skins as well. It's nice to see that the guys do take that into account when they're making the sales up. They do like to make nice little references to real world events and things like that. Much like the festive pack around Christmas time as well, which is quite good. What's that, Leo Sagan? There was a lot of exploration teased by Michael Brooks in the new tutorial YouTube series hosted by Ed. Will I talk about that, Crash? They are some good series, aren't they? Now, Michael Brooks is obviously, he's really keen on the exploration. I think it's his favourite part of the game. So he's really keen to push that side of things. I know there's a whole bunch of tweaks coming in for 2.1, particularly things like adjusting the spawn rates and the fall off of spawn things, because I know a lot of people are saying there's certain things that spawn once you're out there that don't make sense. You know, why would you be seeing various kinds of structures and things tens of thousands of light years from human space? Why would you be seeing the beacons and stuff like that? So those are getting some tweaks. So it's essentially a function. It's a mathematical function that says your distance from populated space over time, and there's a lower cutoff. I think they're just going to raise that lower cutoff so that that kind of thing drops off earlier. All little tweaks and stuff there from feedback. One of the interesting little tweaks we'll get onto in the newsletter in a second, actually, I really like, is the introduction of tracks. Yes, we will get onto that in a second. Let's look for a fuel tank first. I'm just going to chuck an extra fuel tank in here so I don't have to stop. Daryl Sheets, greetings, Commander Max Ursa. Nice to see you. Yes, Stephen Usher, broken nav beacons in T everywhere. Yes, Max Ursa, I agree. I blame INRA for all of it as well. Mrs. K, hello Mrs. K, long distance chat there. Very weird. Well, glad that worked for you, Millstone Barn. Anyway, at least you can get and watch the videos on there now. We will go over those shortly. There's some great little bits and pieces in the newsletter this week. Gotta have a yellow paint job when you're in a taxi. Gotta do it, haven't you? Right, let's get over to Federation space. Get rid of these bounties. If I get blown up on the way, meh. Right. Nearest Federation system. I've been here. No, I've been there. Now let's try this one. It's a couple of jumps. Let's cash in some of these bounties. Yes, Stephen Usher. Yeah, it was a good trip. We had a little delay on the trains, but it all went well. That's right. Greetings, Commander. Mrs. K, you can't say that. You signed an NDA. Yes, for those of you who don't know, Mrs. K and I headed out to London this week. We went to see Planet Coaster at the secret behind-the-scenes press event. We can talk about it. We talk about going there. We can't show you any video or footage or pictures or anything like that, unfortunately, because there's an embargo on until midday Monday. Yes. Midday, was it 11 AM UTC on the 21st. I can start sharing and tweeting those awesome pictures I got of it, and it looks absolutely awesome. It really does. It's great fun to play. Even Mrs. K enjoyed it. I think that speaks volumes. more of it looks great, it feels great, it plays great. Is that more info, XRG? It's it's difficult to say. It's difficult to say stuff without spoiling stuff. Game, you know, actually, I was really proud of Little Talks actually, because I said to him, "Do you want to see the video? Do you want to see the video?" He's like, "No, Dad, spoilers." So bless him, he is adamant that he doesn't want to know until it's released, and he gets to have a play on it. So we get XRG. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do a stream at that time on Monday, but I have got a YouTube video that I'm trying to put together in time for that. So we will post that up as soon as possible. So follow the Twitters and everything, and I'll send that link out to you. But it looks absolutely awesome. It plays great, even at this early stage. I mean, much like we remember the alpha of Elite Dangerous, they've done it again. I mean, they've absolutely outdone themselves. The level of polish on it for an alpha, yeah, it feels like a game demo rather than an alpha. So it's really, really awesome. Yes, it was Covent Garden. Yes, absolutely. Yes, but it was a great event. It was nice to meet a couple of people from the community as well. We met Chris Sawyer, lovely chap. I've friended him on Facebook now. And I should probably admit that yes, it wasn't the Chris Sawyer that you're all thinking of, but we did have a good joke on it, and he gets it all the time. Would you believe? He's just like me as well. Shanray, yeah, is he teasing that, is it? So the key point on the exploration stream is you won't need guns for exploration yet. He's a tease, isn't he? Yeah, I think Mr. Braidman himself has been kind of hinting and teasing that our insectoid friends will probably be making a show this year. They have been hinting and teasing it for a long time. Things have been making a move. There's lots of little hints in the newsletter this week, actually, that we can start to draw conclusions from. We will get onto that. Stephen Usher, yes, the alpha for Planet Coaster is very much targeted. Yeah, it's kind of that's why the price of entry is so high, and a lot of people have been saying, so, "Oh, why is it so much for an early access pass?" And it's like they want to keep it focused to the people that are really, really dedicated and want to actually test it, not people that are just buying it to get an early look at the game. One of the things they really wanted to focus on actually was getting useful information from the public playing the game, actually, because they were worried about a lot of things they're going to disable in the first version of the alpha. Mainly because they want to try and get focused feedback on it. They don't want to open up everything and then have people saying it's like, "Oh, this menu's terrible. It doesn't have this icon, doesn't have that icon." It's like they know these little things. There's all the little things like that. What they want to focus on alpha is how it feels, the gameplay, how the interface feels, how the control scheme works, and all that kind of stuff, and get feedback in that respect. If there are any bugs or anything that people point out, then yeah, fine, point them out. But I think they want to try and remove some of that focus from that typical kind of bug testing sort of arc. Oh no! Oh no! I have nothing that you want, Mr. Tijuruga, whatever your name is. I have nothing for you. Brave Sir Robin ran away. Bravely ran away. Danger reared his ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and fled. Oh, go away, you stupid viper, I've got no cargo. Hopefully that's one of the things that does change in the AI coming up in 2.1. I have nothing of worth, leave me alone. There we go. So serious. You never leave the dock without weapons in case snipers on the way home when you reach the bubble. Yeah, that was my biggest fear when I went on the big trip to Sajay and back. It was that kind of those last few hundred light years were hair-raising. I mean, even with NPCs as well. It's like as soon as you start seeing little squares on your scanner again that you haven't seen for about a month, it's like really hair-raising. Saturnine, never have weapons when exploring. Stupid, redundant, extra weight. Yeah, it's one of that's this thing, isn't it? It's like everyone's got their own way of doing it. I've tried both ways. You know, stripping the ship right down with D-class everything. Like, it is handy to have the extra jump range, absolutely, when you can do some really cool far off places you can get to. But for the vast bulk of exploration, the extra weight is not really that much of a factor, and especially when you can do the boost jumping materials and things like that to get to even further out these days. It's one of those things. Do you take that risk? Should you? I mean, now with landing on the planets as well, it's like you kind of at least need a minimal shield so that you can just avoid that hull damage every time you touch down. So, you know, should we be balancing back towards ships which are more multi-purpose and more capable of various things? And of course, the Asp Explorer is always going to have a massive jump range anyway. So, can we get away with it is the question. What's that? The only real news? What's that? You talked to Mrs. K, talked to Kerrash earlier on Discord. You don't want to spoil anything, but we salute you. I don't know what that's referring to. Oh, okay, Millstone. Yeah, okay. It was my little pilgrimage to Sajay and back. Yes. Everyone's got to do it. And even Mr. Lewis has done it now. He's been to Sajay, and I believe he is caught up with the Distant World guys now, which is in the newsletter. Thank you, Game with Ian. Let's get on to the newsletter because we are running on. It's already 8:15. And waffly. I know. Excited as always. So lots of little tidbits in there. So 2 things this week. Actually, there are 2 sneaky peek pictures this week. Just tiny little sneaky peek pictures of what's coming in 2.1. It's the first thing here which everyone will be pleased about. Everyone, I think, is the fact that community goals, you're going to be able to track them in the galaxy map. Yay! So you have these little, there it is, little icons like this showing up in the galaxy map now, just like you have with your ships and your friends and your wingmates and all that kind of thing. So you'll be able to see where community goals are, not just the ones you've actually signed up to, but all of them. So you don't have to go searching around in the Galnet news and things like that. Again, it's all part of the pass that Frontier are trying to do, where they make the game. They're trying to make the game communicate more of what's going on, rather than you have to kind of search around in various sources to get that information. I mean, it's great that it's there. You know, we've got the Galnet, we've got the stuff in the launcher, and all the various sources of information. But I think a lot of it is just, it's still inaccessible to a lot of players. Players don't realise it's there. There is literally so much happening in this game all the time. Like we were just talking about the story elements, the changes to exploration, stuff like that. But it's just not really communicated as well as it could be. So that is absolutely one of the focus things that Frontier are working on, and this is the result of that now. So we can see that from the last week's newsletter as well. Up in the far left there, we've got the bookmarks as well. That was the thing that was mentioned last week. Yes, Stephen Usher, yeah, exactly, yes, you read my mind, just as I was saying. Yes, the bookmarks in the tab there, so you can have bookmarks. We're going to be seeing where all the community goals are, so lots of little tweaks like that are just going to be making the UI better. And this is something that we've been asking for a long time, is just to make that UI just that little bit better. And also it shows up in the system map as well, so you can see that we can get system map elements showing where the community goals are, where you've got to cache them in, and bookmarks over there as well. You can see the bookmarks up in the 3rd tab as well. So you've got to bookmark things right down to the planetary level. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that we could do individual longitude and latitude coordinates on every single planet, so that we can take note of interesting locations. Maya is 62.2 thousand light years away from me. Let's just go back to the newsletter and check that out really quickly. It's going to go map. The station's got repair. I am in open, Maya, if you are in open. So look at all of my ships and friends everywhere. There we go. Maya. Oh my goodness, look at that. Can I get info up on there, see where you are? That's a heck of a jaunt. Is this with the Distant Worlds expedition, Maya? I believe it is, isn't it? You're doing that. Oh, and let's turn realistic. There we go. In the New Year. There we go. New Year. Maximilian Reach. Friend of yours? Friend of mine? That's crazy. Look at that spread. Lots of people still in the bubble, though, doing all the bits and pieces that are going on. Yes, it's quite spread out, actually. Everyone's all up to their own things. Who's this here? Who's that? Who have we got here? Nico Mac. Hopefully not coming to hunt me down in open and stream snipe me. Let's cash in these bounties. Must do that before I forget. Max reach, of course, yes. On your own out there, my goodness. That's one bounty cashed in. I know it's probably not even worth the fuel or the cost of the hauler, but I just like having a clear board. That is a heck of a jaunt, mate. Right, we need... It was Alliance, wasn't it? Yes. Crikey. Oh, let's have a look. Nearest Alliance system from me is probably that one. Let's go cash them in. And then we got one into the Empire, and then we can get back to things in there. So you've got one of the Cobra 3s to do some high T runs. I can never pronounce that one. Yes, there's another community goal trying to get the special rare good T, which is for curing the Cerberus plague, which again is in the newsletter as well. We will get to that. We will get to it. In fact, let's go to it right now, actually. Twithy, was that me, or were you talking about May there? May's at the time you were going to Sajay separately, you randomly messaged me, and we were 300 light years away from us, from me, 14,000 light years from so. Was that? That was you? I do remember doing that. Yes, I vaguely remember that. Yeah. Is it Hey K T run? Is it Hey K? Hey K. I hate these names. These names are impossible to pronounce. So let's get back to the newsletter. Yes. So that's some nice little tweaks coming to the UI. Always welcome. Always welcome. And the next one, this is a good one. This is something which a lot of people complained about on day one, and I explained away the reason why it probably wasn't a point of focus, but they are coming back to it. Yes, tracks! Making tracks! We can absolutely make tracks in 2.1. So the engineers, they've implemented the shaders that allow us to make tracks on the surfaces of planets. And I can understand exactly why that was not be a thing, which is like the critical feature to get out into 2.0. But also, it's really cool. I gotta move out of the way. Look at that. Look at tracks. Yay! See tracks. And I imagine it's gonna be just a client-side special effect, which is just layered up on your textures in memory. I imagine that could work with other players in your instance there at that point, but I think they're probably going to dissipate and they won't persist past a few kilometers. I doubt very much that the track marks will be persisted to a server so that they could be called back down and people can draw shapes and things on the surfaces. I think that's a crazy ask, but the fact that it draws you more into the scene, it makes it look more realistic. What's that, Stephen? I should note the tracks are correct for the wheels. Yes, they are correct tracks, and they do appear to follow the proper odd, 4+2+2 layout on there, which is pretty cool. Twithy, yeah, I think they're going to run in a buffer. I mean, it's going to look cool. It's a cool little effect. It's something we wanted to add. It just shows that they're constantly trying to add layers of polish to the thing on there. So that rant, it's not possible. So easy was all for nothing. Poor Crash. Yeah, I mean, casting my mind back to when we talked about it, I said there are options on what they could do with it, and I think this is probably the option they've gone for, is that it's basically a local client-side buffer which stores a little bit of it, and if you got up and flew away from it, it would be gone, it wouldn't be there. This was the option we said they probably could do. I think it looks cool, it's nice, it's a nice layer of polish, something else they've added on, again, just making the game better with every version, so nice to see those little additions going in. It's always nice to see little things like that, because it just makes the game so much better with every pass. Mr. Junks needs me to yell down the microphone. So this was mentioned earlier on in the chat. Actually, was the Elite Racers, and I believe they are the spotlight for this week's newsletter. Let's head back on over to that. Yes, so the Elite Racers. I think you've all got the link now. I think you've all watched it. Oh, there we go. So, awesome video from the guys at Elite Racers. I'm gutted I missed this because when the idea first came up, I was really championing it. I love the idea of people doing surface races. Some of the early videos we've seen people doing canyon runs and stuff like that. I absolutely love the idea of that. And I've just been so busy, I completely missed it. But this awesome video. It's lovely to see so many people in one instance all flying in close formation to each other. And it really is. It just shows some fantastic flight skills on there. Lots of head look action, lots of flight assist off movement as well, which is quite cool. Next, they need to add swearing drivers and middle finger extensions when dealing with SRV traffic. Yeah, it's not GTA 5, do you think? Good point. Yeah, Braben did say that Elite was the original GTA type game, the open world thing, and the people that make GTA have said that Elite was part of the inspiration of it, having a world which was open. Absolutely. Who knows what future versions of Elite will hold when you can get out and go around the surface stations and ram other people in their SRVs. Hey, what you doing? What you doing? White van drivers of the 34th century. Who knows what they're like? So let's go ahead and frame shift drive charging. So here's a little meetup from the guys on the Elite Racers before the first heat, which was cool. Cool to see everyone all lined up on there. Again, I like the flying closer. I cannot stress enough how cool it feels flying close to the ground in a small craft, especially something like the Eagle, which is so maneuverable. It really is great fun. I can't wait until we can get the Condors and we can get in those canyons even closer, even faster. Stephen Usher, yes, flying haulers, yes. Yeah, just don't trust these people flying haulers. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. I wouldn't trust them. Oh, this one's pretty close. Oh, where's that? I've turned off the orbit lines, haven't I? So I don't get the impact markers either. I've been getting used to that, actually. I know that was something that Drew Wagar said a little while back, that he flies without the orbit lines on. Keyboard shortcut isn't working for them. There you go. Oh, I don't have the system data for this system, of course, yeah. Yeah, I've been getting used to doing it without the orbit lines off. It's quite nice, actually. It reminds me of the playing Frontier. Oh, don't say the I word, Ian. Oh, don't say the I word. Toad will be on your case. Yeah, it's a nice little effect. I mean, I just consider them part of the HUD anyway, so they don't pull me out of the experience at all with the orbit lines. I just think it's quite nice to have it much clearer and you can see more of space. Oh no! Ah. It breaks my immersion! Immersion! Someone need a bucket. Yes, Toad. See, that's the great thing about it, Max Ursa, actually, is because it wasn't an option early on, was it? We just had them on, there was no option for it, and we asked for it, and Frontier put it in as option, and it's great that we do have these options to play it the way we want to play it. They always listen to us, see? They do want to do these cool things, like putting the game time played timer back in, which I feel guilty about. I feel like that was my fault. I had to add that back in. Concentration phase. Do I break your immersion? Do I, Happy Sack? Damn. Sorry. I'm immersion breaking. You heard it here first. Oh. Twithy, Twithy, you can wash the dishes. Put the headphones on. Also, do you want to get rid of the Super Cruise corridor lines too? Is that for the? Oh, the. I don't mean. Planet Coaster. I cannot talk about Planet Coaster. I can neither confirm nor deny that it even exists. More to come. I definitely. I mean, Monday, like I said, I will be able to talk about it enthusiastically, and trust me, it will be enthusiastically because it is fantastic. It is really, really awesome, and I can't wait to get and play the first alpha again. Well, we played the pre-alpha, I suppose, the version that we played. Oh, that's a little far away, isn't it? Oh, we can make it. Is that the closest Empire system? That's a bit of a pain. Crikey. Let's head on out over there. We need 8 jumps. We can make that. We can make that. Breaks your monotone life on a Friday. Oh, Garzini, you're heading to Hutton, 2.8 million light seconds away. That's nothing. That's a walk in the park, isn't it? I'm doing it again, aren't I? Yes. Yes. I apologise for apologising. I regret apologising. Speculating about coasters on space stations. I can neither confirm nor deny any of them. Dear. See, always trying to catch me out, you folks, aren't you? Always, always. So, let's get back to the newsletter before you drag me into NDA backwaters. So, the next thing on the newsletter, Malik Tolson, we've got this Oculus Canyon Run, which is really cool, actually. I had a quick look at this earlier on. I love the fact that they, much like my own DK one, has been adorned with googly eyes. You've got to have the googly eyes on the Oculus, just to finish that effect, I think, on it. But yeah, that is really cool, actually, seeing that. I wish I could get my DK1 to work. I've had real issues with it recently, but it's probably just got to that point where I should sell it and move on. Planetary tickets. Yeah, I suppose I could show you the coasters, couldn't I? Damn. I had a little goodie bag from the event, for the Planet Coaster event, with a whole bunch of little things in it. I've got a really nice poster that I'm going to get put up and framed, which is really, really awesome. And some things. It was all signed by the team. Got a nice little thing for the boys signed as well, which was quite nice. Unfortunately, I haven't got it here right now, but it is cool. And we've got Planet Coaster coasters, which is the best marketing pun ever. It's so cool. Gotta put the drinks on something. Absolutely, yes. Planet Coaster coasters. That's the way to do it. Speaking of merch, as we're on the subject of merch, there is another sale, 30% sale on there until Monday. That coincides nice, doesn't it? Monday, 12 GMT, because they'll probably then do a store update, because, yes, we can start talking about Planet Coaster. So yeah, and I now have this t-shirt, the Horizons one, which I was sporting tonight, but my lovely wife bought that for my birthday last week, the nice navy blue Horizons t-shirt, which is really, really awesome. Ooh, where are we? Oh, quick. How many jumps? 7 jumps left. Should have threw a basic discovery scanner on here, shouldn't I, just to get a little bit of data as I went along. Never mind. Just clearing the bounty board. So yes, I've got that, and you can see I'm sporting the Planet Coaster t-shirt, which again was an exclusive from the event. I don't think this is the Coaster Head one. I think if you buy the Coaster Head back, there's a different design, but this is a nice t-shirt anyway. Just keep an eye on that hyper jump before I crash into the star. Oh, here we go. If that's one feature I'd like to see actually on the transaction board, is just donate to charity. You get to the point where you just want to clear your transaction board on the left there, just give it to charity. There should be a button on there, just give it away. You know. I do like the old Frontier charity things you used to have on the bulletin board as well for the Banned Military Drives Fund. Oh, Stephen Usher, you got your 3D printed Anaconda on the way. Ooh, you only just got your launch event T-shirt. Crikey. Really? That seems crazy. I mean, I know there was a few delay on something. I mean, there was a signed picture that all the ambassadors should have got at the event. It was delayed a while for a few of us. I know some people got it a couple months after. I got it, I think, a year later. It was there at the office. I saw it last time I went to the office for E3 last year. But I didn't go back to the office after I landed, so it didn't get put in my car, so it left there, and then oh, you only just bought it, Stephen. That's right. Sorry, I didn't realize that. But yeah, I know there's delays. I don't hold a grudge or anything like that. These things happen. I'm happy I got a new Elite game. Okay. Funnily enough, actually, it was one of the things that came up with talking to Johnny Watts. Johnny Watts is, for anyone who doesn't know, the CCO, Chief Creative Officer at Frontier. You may know him from such games as Cannon Fodder 2. Yeah, he's a great guy. We were chatting to him last week, and he kind of jokingly said, "It's like, so are you telling me, Kerrash, that Frontier now basically just makes games that you want, you like? Is that what it is?" So yes, I love Roller Coaster Tycoon as well. So you keep making these games that I love to play. I'll tell you, it's like all of my free time is going to be spent playing Frontier games. It's terrible. Tequila Sunrise, is the alpha beta for Planet Coaster going to be on Xbox? There are no announcements of Xbox support at the moment for Planet Coaster. I don't know where they stand with doing it. Of course, the engine is the same as Elite, so they do have cross-platform compatibility. It is a possibility that it could be ported to that device, because obviously they can technically do it. I think the issue with it is whether or not the Xbox hardware will be powerful enough to run what they're trying to push in Planet Coaster, because from what I can see they're doing at the moment, there is just so much detail, so much content and stuff going on in the background there. They're pushing so many polygons on Planet Coaster. I honestly don't know whether or not the Xbox hardware could drive that. Hopefully they could tweak it one way or another to do it, but fingers crossed. Steve Hesher, what's up? What other Amiga games do you like to play? I'm kind of scared to say in case they come along. Manic Miner, Attic Attack, yes, they were some classics. yes, David's gonna re-release Zarch, Virus, as some people might remember, yes. That'll be another one. Dog's Life coming back, oh yes. Joust was a classic. Moonstone, don't think I had that one, Ian. No. Classic, what was my favourite Amiga? It's hard to say, I've got so many cool Amiga games and I love them all. Hard to pick one out. Benefactor, that was a great one. Lemmings, Zool. Oh, some fantastic games. Twithy, I'm just cashing in a couple of bounties because I hate having things on my transaction panel in here. It's just really annoying. I probably could just jump in a Sidewinder and blow up. But like I said, I might as well cash them in. Galactic Midden, greetings, Commander. Nice to see you, that's a... I'm a lumberjack and I'm not gay. Oh, suit you, sir. Oh. Yes, so as much as I want to talk about it, I can't talk about it. But suffice to say, it's cool. If you haven't already grabbed the early access, I'm not going to suggest you should, but I mean, if you haven't already bought the game, I'd probably, because it's like £20 now, the price could go up, so it's worth checking out. If you haven't already bought Planet Coaster, it's worth grabbing it now if you are even in the slightest bit interested in it. But it got a fantastic response from everyone there at the event the other day. It's really, really cool. Last jump. Let's set this up. 10% off Elite Dangerous for Kickstarter. Oh, 10% off for Elite Dangerous Kickstarter. Yes. So if you did Kickstart Elite Dangerous, you'll get 10% off Planet Coaster. Yes, there is an email going around for anyone who was involved with the Elite Dangerous Kickstarter. So check it out if you haven't already. On the subject of the goodies, the various goodies that we got at the event as well, I got one of these, which I've wanted for ages. Yay! It's a daft little thing. Really, really cheap and just fantastic. But it's obviously not the best VR experience you can get out there, but Google Cardboard. Fantastically simple. Just unstrap the little Velcro things, fold the lid over, put your phone in the front there. That's all you got to do. VR headset. I got the Galaxy S6, so it's compatible with that. But yeah, just fantastically simple, and you can get a great little VR experience out of that. And the best thing about it is it's so cheap and portable, and you can just bring it around to someone's house, show them the promise of what VR could do, and just hopefully get them to buy in to the whole VR thing. Oh, 87,000 light seconds. Damn. It's no Hutton, but it might take a while. What's that with you? Z-Wolf, Monkey Island, B-17, Gunship 2000, remember that one? Lemmings, Wing Commander, yes, Indy 500, F1 Grand Prix, Elite 2, absolutely gotta have Elite 2, Stunt Car Racer, many more, yeah, see, I can't reach, I've got some of the boxes down here, I've got the, see, I've always got the original Frontier 2 manuals, always got them at hand for reference, you've got to have them there. And all the discs, we've got all the discs here as well. That's one thing you have to have at arm's reach at all times. Twitty, yes, that is one thing that I've seen as possible. In fact, I know of a man who has streamed Elite Dangerous directly to their phone so that they can play on cardboard. And proved that it was possible. Oh, Spy Hunter, Marvin, yes, yes, Spy Hunter was great fun. See, it's all those classics. I wish people would start bringing some of these ones back, you know, reviving these old franchises. I think the license holders should either give up the damn name so people can bring them back, or get their asses in gear and revive some of these awesome original games. It would be awesome. I'd love to see that. Shanray, oh, you've got a Vive on order. Awesome. Alternating between I can't wait and what have I done. You will absolutely love it when you get it. The Vive is amazing. And of course you've got Elite Dangerous support in the box as well. What's that, Leo? Oh, on the subject of CGs, the Cerberus Plague is back. Yes, we will get onto that. I might get involved in that CG actually, getting some of that HKT or whatever it is. Dirty, did I try the Gear VR? Yes, I have tried the Gear VR. That is really awesome as well. I haven't got one, but I have tried one. It's fantastic. Again, the fact that you can just take it to someone, you can bring it to someone's house, let them have a play on it, let them see what VR is all about and how awesome it is, and hopefully, you know, sell it. Yes, Leo, yeah, we've got to try and get rid of that plague so we don't end up with loads of stations closed. Simcopter, that was another one, yes. Classic. Was that the one with Maxis Man in, or was Maxis Man part of SimCity? I can never remember. What's that, Twithy? It's funny how often we can just recall the names of old systems and games and just feel happy inside. Yes, nostalgia, you see. Rose-tinted glasses, they always make you feel better. Crikey, the one where you had to avoid killer androids, that was a common theme in most arcade games back then. 3D ant attack, yes. Oh, you do get, yeah, I mean, I must admit, I do suffer from motion sickness, just day-to-day things, you know, travelling in as a passenger in a car and things like that. So, yeah, it is one of those things that you acclimatise to it, absolutely. There it is, thank you, Mrs. K. Let's try and get, I think the green screen's going to interfere with this. Let's get this full screen, look at that, let's try and, no, that blue is going to be totally washed out. But you get the impression. Got all the signatures there. It's awesome. It's an awesome print. I need to get it framed. I haven't got a frame anywhere. Really, really nice, nice picture on there. Signed by the whole team as well, which is cool. We have the official Planet Coaster coasters. That lovely Planet Coaster blue, which really doesn't like my green screen. There we go. Planet Coaster coasters. Yay! And a Planet Coaster bag. All the goodies here from my lovely assistant. Yes, we did have quite a few goodies to bring back from the event, which was great fun. So now I can use my Planet Coaster coaster. Oh, is that? Yeah, if that is happening to anyone else, that'd be interesting to know. Actually, if the game audio is cutting in and out, you're hearing it as well. This was something I was trying to figure out. Is it? Does it sound like it's the game audio, or is it my? Is it just continuous? This was something I was trying to figure out earlier in the week because I know last week the audio was too low, but then I started to notice some strange like pulses, which I couldn't nail down to a particular problem. Yeah, Dirk D, I think you will get used to it. I think was it the game audio? Okay, very odd, very odd. I will try and fix that. I'm not sure if I can fix that live as we're running along. What's that in? Lucky. I. Yes, I am very lucky for both of those reasons. Yes, absolutely. Got so much stuff. I wish I could share. I've only got a handful of these coasters. I'm just wondering whether I can mail them out to a couple of people as silly little gifts. I can't really hear it in the audio. A little choppy. Yeah, see, I haven't been able to nail down. I've been having that little, once kind of a click every now and then. That's going to be really, really annoying. I thought that was a problem. I did do some tests, and I thought I'd fix that. I'm sorry for that tonight, folks. Only from the game? Yeah, it's strange. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to make any changes to it without destroying the destroying the stream at the moment. Problem started a few days ago here. Was that for you, Leo? Was that or on my stream a few days? Still waiting for the sock puppet. Mrs. K is welcome on the stream, but right there. Yeah, sorry, Stephen. I don't think I will be able to fix it. I think, yeah, in game. I think it might be something related to drivers. That's a very good point, Stephen. I think I'll do that actually. It's a bit of a pain. I mean, I like the. See, you tell her, Toad. You tell her. She's welcome as a guest. She is absolutely welcome as a guest. So we've got about a minute before we arrive at this system. So let's head back to this. So a fantastic little screenshot here. This is from the newsletter. It was from Commander Jonticles. This is named Army of Two, I believe, in the newsletter. Fantastic screenshot. One of the favourites with the guys in the Frontier office on there. Nice composition on this, I must admit. Actually, you've got the two SRVs on the side here. There's two Anacondas here. Fantastic nebula picture in the background as well. The ringed planet. Awesome. Awesome. I do like this one. It's a nice high resolution as well if you want to download that from the newsletter and make a nice background, which I would like to make it there. Oh, are we going to crash into this planet? No, we've got a little bit of time. We've absolutely got a little bit of time. Yes, Stephen Usher, yeah, kind of got that sci-fi look. It's awesome. Really, really awesome. Commander Humbo, thank you. Greetings, Commander. Yes, we had great fun on my birthday. It was nice to spend some time with the family and go out for a meal and everything. That was nice to spend some time with the boys. Yeah, it's actually, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned it, actually, Leo Sagan, because if if it is something related to drivers, it might be because I've updated the latest NVIDIA drivers. Maybe that's causing the little blip every now and then. I've noticed it on a few things. I've been trying to play back videos and things like that, and I don't understand what's going on. Um, Short of doing a complete reinstall of my machine, which I really want to avoid right now, but yeah, I need to get to the bottom of it because it is damn frustrating, particularly when I'm trying to record video and various things. Loads of cake, yes, loads of cake. Yes, it would be nice to have Shorty back on, absolutely, but she is very busy with the little one at the moment. That is the nature of kids, I'm afraid. Slow down. I am slowing down. Slow down. Slow down. Reinstall everything. Yeah, it does seem like a bit of a drastic move just to try and figure out some stupid little glitch, but I think that's probably what it is. It does sound like it's either a driver or a codec issue, and if it is, they are usually a right bitch to actually resolve. It's a pain in the backside, but I need to figure it out. The problem is testing it is a pain as well because I found that it's intermittent. I can record a little piece of video to test it, and I'll get it, and then I'll record another little piece of video, and it'll be gone. And I'll think, great, okay, I've solved the problem. And the next thing I know, I record a slightly longer video, and the issue starts to resurface again. So the cake must be nommed. Yes, the cake was not a lie. It really did exist. Docking request granted. That's true. You got to reinstall anyway to get rid of Windows 10. I don't understand all the dislike for Windows 10. I don't know why people don't like it. For me, it's works better than 7 and 8 have on my machine, and it's fast, it's smooth, it's stable. I haven't had any particular issues with it at all. So, ooh, scam detected. No, I haven't got anything bad, have I? No. I'm good. I'm good. Tequila Sunrise. No, that little dot in the center is actually the mouse widget, which you get in the center of the screen. You can turn it on independently. You tend to get it if you're using the keyboard and mouse controls because it shows you where the center is. So that's the position you move the mouse back to zero the rotation. But I like to turn it on because it gives you a nice kind of center point on the screen. It's actually an interesting point. If you are playing on Xbox One, Tequila, then it might not be an option that you can turn on. That's a real pain. I never considered that. That should be something. Well, you can probably put that up on the forum. Actually, see if they can get it into the build on Xbox because it is a useful thing to have. I'm gonna end up with haulers all over the place, aren't I? There we go. Bounty vouchers. Done. Leo Sagan, the only reason you didn't upgrade to Windows 10 at this point because you're afraid it would break your Elite Dangerous. And I'm running on Windows 10. No problems. In fact, like I said, it runs smoother. It's absolutely no issues whatsoever. Because I believe Elite Dangerous does have some DX12 hooks in it. You know, and the Cobra engine can do DX12 if need be. And of course you need Windows 10, I think, to run DX12. So yes, exactly. You're right, Toad. It does. It's... Oh, is it Tequila? Oh, sorry, Tequila. I thought you were on Xbox. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, it is a useful little feature, which obviously you wouldn't need on Xbox One because you don't have a mouse, but it would be a bloody useful thing for people to have, to be honest, wouldn't it? So I think as we were talking about the Cerberus Plague and all the other bits and pieces coming up, let's head on to that bit next on the newsletter. Oh, Garzini, yes, that's a good one, yes, and you're running Windows 10, no problem with Elite Dangerous, Voice Attack, or ED Tracker. Yeah, exactly. I've had no issues with Windows 10, like I said. Everything I had on Windows 7 and Windows 8 worked. Not a problem at all, so I think a lot of it is people are just they're adverse to change. It is a common thing. A lot of people just don't like to change things. Just they're just stubborn because they're used to the way things are. But no issue with it. It's absolutely fine. I have got no reason to express as to why you shouldn't upgrade to Windows 10. I know some people come up with reasons, but I don't think any of them are grounded in anything other than just personal feelings, dislike for new things or Microsoft in general. And if you've already got 7 and 8, I believe it's a free upgrade anyway, so I don't see what the problem is. You're getting a better operating system with better support and better features and more security, so you might as well do it. Stephen Usher, yes, very good point. There are some older drivers that don't have support. I know on not my previous motherboard, but the one before that was very old actually. I mean, you were talking about 9 years old, I think that motherboard was. Um, that one did not have the right level of support on the chipset for some kind of, I think it was the sleep mode on the CPU or something like that. So I couldn't actually upgrade to Windows 10 on that. But like I said, that motherboard was at least 9 years old, probably older. Free upgrade till August, yes, absolutely. Yeah, there are some privacy options that you can disable on Windows 10 if you don't want it to share various bits and pieces of information on there. But again, I think a lot of that is over paranoid stuff. You know, I don't know what Microsoft are doing with the information on that, but to be fair, if it means you get a free OS, it's everyone's always wanted a free OS. Duplex, good point. Yeah, Windows is a game loader for the amount that I do on Windows. Yeah, pretty much, pretty much just it's a launcher for my games. There we go. There we go. Yes. So as we were talking about it, so following on from the various events that have been happening just recently, there was the rescue mission CG, which we helped with on that one. That was pretty cool. Rescuing those pods, we managed to rescue Professor Ishmael Palin, which for those of you who don't know was actually following up on the unknown artifacts. Uh, um, Research. He went missing, and suddenly you've managed to recover him. Interesting, this has happened because I believe this is the kind of thing that's happened before when the Cerberus plague first hit. Um, we're gonna have to get the banner out in a second, aren't we? You can see where this is going. The people they disappeared, they recovered them. Suddenly the Cerberus plague hit. Same thing again. Here we go. We've got people disappearing and coming back with this deadly unknown pathogen, which is killing off loads of people. So what's happening to these people out in space? Mm. This rumor abound. What's that moose on there? Was it the telemetry and spying? Was it forced updating? Borked patches? Yeah, there are some things like that, which I know people have kind of highlighted. And there was a really annoying thing I think was totally. I mean, I will, as much as I say I appreciate what they're doing in Windows 10. The thing they did a couple of weeks ago where they put in that security update and they snuck in a upgrade to Windows 10 thing, that's underhanded. That's just a step too far, I think, on that one. So that is one thing I think they should really back down on it. You know, let people see that Windows 10 is worth the upgrade and go for it rather than trying to convince them through backhanded means. That's bad. Maybe ex-President Halsey is infected too. Maybe that would be speculation. But yeah, it's see, this is the thing. What's going on with these people? They disappear, they come back infected. What's going on with this? Interestingly, though, to follow along to that, as you can see here, there's been a breakthrough in the fighting the technological plague, which is still affecting starports on there. So someone has actually figured out a way of using the metal alloys to prevent the unknown artifacts from doing the self-repair. So if you don't know, when you pick up the unknown artifacts, they cause system damage to your ships. They keep eroding away. They cause system damage to the stations they're sold to as well. What they do is they absorb materials in their local surroundings, so they pull in what they need to repair themselves and keep themselves functioning. So that's why your ships start to degrade, because it's pulling all of this stuff out of your systems and using it to keep the unknown artifact alive. Same things happen to the station. So someone has managed to figure out at a molecular level, molecular chemicist here has figured out that. Let me move that up to the top so you can read it. What to use in the metal alloys to prevent the unknown artifacts from effectively feed the unknown artifacts. That's what it sounds like to me, and I think that's the interest. Yeah, Stephen Usher. Yeah, see that's what I'm thinking. I wasn't going to say, but you said it first, so we're going to speculate away. The humans attack the Thargoids with a bioweapon. Is the Cerberus plague their attempt at revenge? It is starting to look like that, isn't it? It really is starting to look like that. That they've put out these things, these unknown artifacts. They feed from the meta alloys, so it's almost like they're seed pods or something. I don't know. That's entirely speculation. But the idea that they can feed off what the barnacles grow is an interesting one. I think that's really going to start to play out over the next couple of weeks. Sit boy, greetings and thank you. Yes, I had a great birthday. Thank you very much. Dr. Noses, greetings, Commander. Nice to see you there. What's that? They announced that though nothing was snuck in. They moved the update to the. Oh, what's that? Oh, the Windows 7 stuff. Yeah, yeah. No, there was something else to it. Actually, yeah, there was a security update where they kind of put it in there, and it was a little bit touch and go how they worded it in the security thing. It was a little bit, you know. I think they're pushing on people, but yes, I mean, I think it's really interesting what's happening with these unknown artifacts. I think that's really going to start to play out over the coming weeks and months. Obviously, we know 2.1 is going to be a little bit delayed, but there are going to be some other minor 2.0x point releases coming in, so some little changes could go in there to kind of progress the story along into that. Um, Doctor No, you still think the barnacles are some kind of byproduct of the Thargoids trying to bioengineer out their weaknesses to the virus? Good point. Yeah, good point. That's a good one. Yeah, that they're trying to evolve beyond the problem. Because I remember oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the plague that Inra created. The mycoid virus. That was it. The mycoid virus destroyed their technological ability to use hyperspace. So they were effectively stranded, and what we ended up with loads of little small pockets of resistance of the Thargoids, which were just in systems spread out, but they couldn't actually travel around in hyperspace. They were effectively abandoned. So at the end of Frontier, did they all settle down on a planet, set up their own new hives on these planets under the ground, and then they have been since that time 50 years, it was 50 100 years ago, no 20, 30 50 years ago, since that time they've been trying to evolve a cure or a resistance to the mycoid virus and evolve a new way of traveling in hyperspace. That would be speculation. What's that, Leo? Is it just me, or the main story becoming more popular? I mean, back in the early months, a lot of people didn't care much about it. It seems right now it's getting more love in the community. Yes, that and Frontier are really trying to push it. They're really trying to make it part of the four. They're bringing it into the spotlight a lot more. They really want to try and push that out there. This all of these storylines, all of these elements have been building up for a long time. But like you said, people have just not really noticed, and I think it's getting to the point now. A lot of people have done other things in the game, and they're asking about what else there is, and there's all these secret undertones, these little hidden stories and things that are going on in there. So it's interesting. Prime Nine, sorry, greetings, Commander. Didn't see you come in there. Yes, we're speculating away, brash speculation. Um, Squee, was that Freakier UK? Greetings, Commander. Has anyone worked out anything to do with the SAP 8 core containers? Ooh, maybe a few things. Maybe a few things. Moose 666, yeah, it was 50 years ago that we effectively, and I believe that's canon. I believe that's the storyline, because obviously at the end of First Encounters there was two possible story arcs. Either you gave the cure to the Thargoids, or you Prime Nine is whistling innocently whilst we speculate away. Greetings, Babster. Yes, so yeah, so that was the two kind of storylines, and I think David decided to go with the idea that yes, we did kind of infect them with the mycoid virus, so they were effectively neutralized, at least in local space. The Thargoids could not travel from wherever they were at the point we were fighting them, which would kind of suggest that yeah, they would have to find a planet that they could survive on and settle down, and Oh, Mrs. K is off. Bye, Mrs. K. Everyone say bye, Mrs. K. Yeah, it would make sense, and that's kind of what I see happening. I mean, you think about them insectoid. You think maybe the barnacles are just the uppermost part of a hive, maybe, which is really got so much speculation tonight. I'm just going to leave the banner on. I tell you, it does kind of it gives you that impression, and that's what's going on. They've been gathering these materials. They've been trying to find a way of adapting so that they can start to use hyperspace again. I think things are really starting to build up as well, which is really cool. Arathon, you're in Venick? Greetings! Greetings. Oh, we must head out to Venick, actually, yes, because that is where one of the community goals is, isn't it? Absolutely. The terraforming community goal is out in Venick, which we will get onto in a second as well. I've got to choose which community goal I want to take part in this week. There's just too many. There's too many things. Night, night, Mrs. K. She's off. Leo Sagan, yes, absolutely. That's a lot of the reasons why the story has been picking up more in recent months. Now, Frontier obviously got more tools at their disposal to start to progress the stories in different ways. So as you say there, you can't push the story too far until you've got the elements in the game to actually represent them, the visual representation and everything else. Exactly. There needs to be time to build those models up and to build the systems to allow the type of events and storylines and missions and the various things that happen in game in order to make those things workable storylines. So yeah, that's a lot of the reason why the story has been ramping up as well, as it's taken a while to build all of those tools in. Yes, member of the Emperor's Dawn, someone who, accused member of the Emperor's Dawn, was murdered in capital. Again, I like these kind of story elements. They're kind of hinting at what is going to be possible. Of course, we can't see people getting assassinated, in one to one at the moment. But when we do have the capability of walking around and things like that, then of course it will very much be possible. Oh, Prime 9, you're watching. Also, we're watching Babylon 5 at the moment. Yeah, I do like the way Galnet kind of it has that same kind of feel, which is quite nice. And of course that the campaign element on there. Yeah, of course the federal campaign to build a new dreadnought warship as well. Again, another one of these things. It's like the Federation are they're claiming that the luxury cruise ships that the president uses. They're basically they're going out to pasture. They're too good, and he needs this brand new warship, this top of the range warship. Why on earth does he need a giant warship? What do the Federation know that we don't? Hmm? What do they know? What do they know? They do build those dreadnoughts awfully quick, don't they? Again, one of those things that I loved back in the early days of the Kickstarter was the idea of having these shipyard regions where you see the ships being built. I would love to see that. I would love to see it. Oh, Max Ursa, this is a good one. Let's read this out then. So, speculation. INRA is now a self-sufficient shadow military organization. They have access to Thargoid tech, have reverse engineered the tech, and use it along with political puppeteering and maneuvering to control the whole of human space. Ooh, yes, that's a good one. I like that one. That's a possibility. I mean, who says Inra broke up after they defeated the Thargoids? Why would they why would they shut down? Scorched Mars, yes. Personal sidearms crash? I can neither confirm nor deny personal sidearms. We've all seen the concept art, though. We've seen the suits with the thrusters on at the wrist being used to propel people away. We've seen that concept art. We've seen people's arms being sliced off in zero G. So we've seen that. We can speculate away about hand-to-hand combat as much as you want. What's that? They use a really big 3D printer and lots of minions. Yes, yes, that's modern technology for you. Shipbuilding in the 34th century. Lots of little limpets going around 3D building things. I would love to see that. I think that would be a fantastic thing to add into the game. Of course, it's one of those things that has to be enough of a gameplay reason for it to go in. And, you know, other than it looking cool, it has to do something functional. You can't justify the time spent building something like that. But a shipyard would look awesome, though. It would be really cool. Saturnine, was that minions equals slaves? Only in the Empire, of course. Only in the Empire. Yes, SJ. Blame SJ for the minion wrangling, yes. So I need to get somewhere I can actually get a semi-decent ship, because I have got nothing at the moment. Do I go back to my Vulture and get back to some pew-pew, or do I head out to one of the new community goals? That is the question. I will leave it up to you folks, whether I should head out to one of the new community goals. If so, I'll probably head to Shinrata, which is probably closer. I've got ships all over the place. Let's have a look here. Whoop. Where's Shinrata? When did I leave it? There it is. Crikey. Or do I head to... What have I got here? What have I got in Erevae? I've got ships everywhere. Crikey. Got a little Sidewinder in Erevae? Why have I got a Sidewinder over there? Yes, I will leave it up to you folks, so what you think I should get up to next. I was tempted to go back and do some more pew-pew, but I can do some other things. Right, in the Federation they're not slaves, they could choose to starve if they don't want to work on the new warships, yeah. Slavery, communism, yeah, you name it. What's that list? Was it Mike here after 2.1 is when Sarah's AI changes come to live build? Miss her post. She has been chatty. Yeah, she has been chatty recently. But I did hear that a lot of her changes that she was working on for the combat maneuvering and stuff for the AI, I think it will make it into 2.1. I don't know if any other elements have actually made it into the trunk build yet. Watch out, the minions are coming. Yeah, Arathon, yeah, I've seen that. That's why I'm tempted to just get back to pew-pew as quickly as possible. Yeah, it's worth getting a Twitter crate just so you can follow the FDev guys, so you can see what's coming up. So we're heading over there. So yes, in terms of the community goal, like I said, I just helped finish this one. So the Callan Interstellar Research Group now have their outpost in this name system, which I'm not going to even... Okay, it's Col 285 Sector IX-TD3-43 system. Yes. Gotta love these names, But yes, we have a research post. Yay! For research in the UAs. Again, this is going to help progress the story. And this is why I like the fact that this was an entirely community-suggested goal, and Frontier really jumped on the bandwagon for it, because obviously it's starting to progress the UA story, which they really want to start pushing for as well. So if you've got a good idea for a community goal, and it plays into what's currently playing out in the game, then do suggest it. Get on the forum and suggest it. Thirsty Better, really looking forward to difficult AI. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting challenge. I'll give it that. It is gonna be really nice to see the scale change, because I know that the Variety CG pay, well, it did Toad. Yeah, I think like I said, I was in the top 10% until the last day, and then I got booted down to 25%. But it's still got a nice bonus. But yeah, no, the AI change, I think it's going to be nice to see the scaling change. So like the lower AI kind of do dumber things, and then the higher AI do things you'd expect them to do. But it's still, I think it's going to need some balance. What's that Prime 9 is? Half of me wants to spill the beans and the other half wants me to hide under a rock when everyone sees how big the changes are. And he never would have, but change is bad. Yeah, it happens every time, Prime 9. I think it's just one of those things, just grin and bear it, isn't it? I've got to the point where I got such thick skin now, I just ignore all of those things. Anytime when something comes up, it's like, change for me is always, like I said about the Windows 10 thing, it's exactly the same mentality. It's like, yeah, there's always going to be that kind of growth period where it's like when the shield cells changed, and these tweaks and things are always inevitable. Things are always going to be changing and adapting, and the balance is going to be constantly being changed. That's just the nature of it. That's the way these things are, and I appreciate that. I know a lot of people, they get in this rut, they get used to the way things are, and they expect things to stay the way they are, and then when it changes, it's like, oh, they feel like the whole world is against them, and I think that's a very difficult mentality to get people out of. Look at how many resource sites are here. Damn, I want my vulture. As long as it's not elite mist. Good point. 2.1 is the post-launch pack you're most excited about. I think, yeah, I mean, I think the same goes for the previous year. I think when we went from 1.0 to 1.1, it was such a massive step. It was a real improvement. I think it was much more than what people were expecting in a 0.1 patch, but it really did add that extra layer of polish that I think the game needed for launch. But it was great to see it in there, absolutely. So I'm thinking the same thing's going to be for 2.1. When 2.1 hits, it's really going to be like, wow, you know, this is what Horizons was promising, you know, from day one. I think that's the unfortunate thing. I mean, I absolutely get it from. Any news on 1.6? I don't have any news on 1.6 actually. Not sure what the plan is with that. Whether or not it's going to be queued up with. The Xbox release as well. I don't know. What's that, Prime 9? The current plan is to do the first week of beta, do an internal alpha to catch the biggest bugs, and then a month of public beta. Yeah, same as before. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Like I said, it's kind of like rolling it out to, you know, I have it on a focus group, and then you roll it out to more and more people to find more and more things, and hopefully nail down bugs as each version comes out. But yeah, like I said, I mean, from a developer point of view, I absolutely understand it. It's like you want to get the version into people's hands as quickly as possible, but at the same time, it's like you just don't quite have enough time to polish things off. And that was one of the things that came up at the Planet Coaster event as well, is, you know, just wanting to get that alpha version out there, but at the same time wanting to hold bits of it back because it's not feeling like it's 100% yet. And it's a very difficult thing to get right in terms of challenge. Oh, who have we got? Someone who is probably going to blow it. Commander M. Reaper. Where are you going? Where is the nearest place to land? Leinster Survey? Yeah, let's try there. Whee! What's that, Leo? Its changes are not to be feared, but if the AI scale changes a lot and elite ARs are truly lethal, as they should be, then what about combat zones where you're supposed to butcher zillions of elite ships? That kind of change would imply CD mechanics. A change to CD has a lot, or no one could do them. Yeah, again, that's one of these questions of balance. It would be the same thing as the resource sites as well. If the AI changes so much that it is then really, really impossible, the gameplay systems would have to change so that you don't end up having loads and loads of elite ships spawned together in a group, because they would be really impossible. But it's different systems doing different things. I think there were some issues with this a little while back, I think, where the AI was upgraded, it was made a lot better, but then, like I said, the systems which generate the groups of ships and the various scenarios were not subsequently kind of debuffed to compensate for that, so it made some really, really difficult things, and then a patch or two later they were tweaked again. It is one of those things that it's going to be under constant adjustment. What's that, Prime? There's As a company, you've learned a lot from doing Elite and Planet Coaster in very different ways. Some bits worked, some didn't, and now we know the best of both. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've always maintained that as well. I mean, it's been a learning experience for Frontier as well, as I think, because it's all completely new. I don't think people appreciate that. The fact that you've got a successful game in this kind of genre, doing MMO like stuff. Having a dealing with a massive community, dealing with a game which is effectively 24/7. It's been a massive adjustment for the company, and I think it's been dealt with very, very well, considering you basically had no experience of running a game like this up until Elite Dangerous hit, and it's in the last year or two things have got massively better. From hiring loads of extra people on the community team and the support side of things, the response of the support team is now second to none. It's been absolutely fantastic. Comparing that back to the dark days, I think with the 1.0 release, and there was people that couldn't even log on the first couple of weeks, and it was like it was a nightmare on the forum. Seeing people firsthand, and it was really, really frustrating for people. And now it's like the support team are fantastic. So it's a learning experience for everyone involved, and I think it's just been handled really, really fantastically. The company is so adaptable that it's moved along with the times and changed to fit the needs of a game like this. What's that? Vinny PH there? Greetings! Maybe Elite Dangerous could be combined with Planet Coaster, and ED players pay credits to the Planet Coaster players to have a go on a coaster. Twithy, does anyone ever ask David about The Outsider? Looking forward to that game. I spoke to David about The Outsider, actually. That was we were talking about it at E3 last year, and there was some very interesting little snippets there. Of course, a lot of that interesting technology that was built up to make that happen is, of course, it was never lost, it was never wasted, it was all rolled into the Cobra engine. And that's one of the things that I find so fascinating about it as an engine. I love procedural generation, so the fact that it's got all of that stuff rolled into it, I think is really, really awesome. Well, we've got a little Sidewinder over there. Who's that? Commander Bull Devin? Oh, that's... Oh, dropping fingers, wasn't paying attention there. What's that bit someone said? The fact that this new to Frontier is where you get about certain people complain about change. The game has just to be allowed to evolve as a game unfolds. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's constantly changing and tweaking, and it's one of those things that you've got to kind of experiment. You've got to get it out to the wider public, let people play around with things, and some things work, some things don't. You see what works best. Same things we saw on the was not this week's was the exploration. I think last week was the community goal live stream that Ed do, deep dive into community goals, just explaining the fact that they've invented these various community goal types. They've put them out to the public. Some are more popular than others. So there was no way Frontier could know which kind of community events would be the most popular until they got it out to the community, let people do it, capture those metrics, see how many people are getting involved with those things, and then kind of say, well, yeah, this one's really not as popular as that one, let's do more of these, or, let's make this one a little bit more interesting, let's do some more things with it. So, yeah, Frontier have got to be commended for trying to adapt and change to these scenarios of how we as a community respond to these things, and I think you've got to give them credit for that, absolutely. Approaching this one the right way? No, I'm not approaching it for the right way because I was reading the chat. Let's land safely before I read the chat. Boom, there we go. What's that from Prime Night now? So you say you share some of the tools and libraries you're using, you wrote for other projects, but you've been 100% on Elite since early 2013. And see, that's another thing that annoys me a lot in the comments, and there's people saying it's like, oh, Planet Coaster's gonna take resources away from Elite. It absolutely will not take resources away from Elite Dangerous. I think it's something like 270 people working at Frontier at the moment, something like that. There's roughly half on Elite, roughly half on Planet Coaster, and a few people in between as well. It's how businesses run. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. What's that game within? You're new when it comes to engines. You don't know how much was changed between Elite Dangerous and Planet Coaster. I probably wouldn't be able to detail that at all, but they are effectively the same engine. And as improvements are made on one thing, improvements can be shipped over to the other game as well. That's a great thing about using an in-house engine, is everybody benefits from a tweak and an improvement, like we saw back in the when the Xbox One update came in. It's like there was all these optimizations that came back in for the PC version as well, which was cool. Twithy, yeah, absolutely. That's one of the cool things about seeing the Outsider, is that it showed that procedurally generating a city was entirely possible. It will come. It is a question of just when our PCs catch up with what the Cobra engine is capable of. Because I think you could literally turn everything up to 11 right now if you had the hardware to do it. Yeah, Prime 9. I think that's a great way of putting it. Yeah, sorry, that's more eloquent than what I could do. But yeah, basically, because you've got an in-house engine, you could literally dig in and customize it specifically to each project. So you do end up with a lot of shared stuff. But like you said, with something like Unreal out of the box, you kind of have the engine as a black box, and you sit your game on top of it via interfaces. But obviously with the Cobra engine, you've got complete open access to that black box, so you can poke in and tweak and optimize for a specific scenario that you're working on for your particular project. So that's again the great reason why having an in-house engine is so much better than using an out-of-the-box solution for your games. Right, I'm here. That is a good answer. That is a good answer. Thank you. So back to the newsletter. Let's get on to the newsletter. So, for those of you who are Hutton Orbital Truckers, and I am a member of the Hutton Orbital Truckers group, and I really want to get involved in this one again. I'm not sure I'm going to have time. Early estimates are saying this could take something like 12 hours, and I'm not going to have 12 hours to play. So, yeah, I'm going to need a team if I'm going to do this one. There is the Hutton Cup race here. This is a surface race, endurance race, between two locations on a planet about roughly 600 kilometers apart. That is going to take a long time. Like I said, the estimates are showing something like 12 to 14 hours to drive across it. If you think going to Hutton was bad, then this is gonna test your endurance. Absolutely, for the mug, absolutely, guys. But yeah, this is right up my street. This is the crazy sort of thing that I would love to do, just because we can, just because we can. But yeah, that looks really, 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 really fun. I hope we can get a team together for it. I'm not sure when was the date. Does it say a date on there? Well, there's a forum post in the newsletter, so if you do have the newsletter there, you can go and check out when that's going to happen. But yeah, I'd like to give that a go. As you can see here, as a smooth flat area to start with, and you start going into some craters. Something you can see here, some big ones, 20 kilometers across. I've seen bigger, and then. Yes, after 370 kilometers into some really awful mountain ranges as well, which could be interesting. I don't know whether Buggy can get all the way across 600 kilometers on its own. I believe you will need enough fuel materials stashed up there so that you can refuel a few times. Yes, Toad. How many light years have you now driven in your thing? Yes, yes, I know. 600 kilometers. It's nothing. I know, Mister. How many megameters have you? How many light seconds have you managed to do in your SRV, Toad? Was it 0.1 of a light second you done? It was a lot. It was a lot.